This is Brandon Cutler from AEW. You're watching Cole TV.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back into another episode of Pro Wrestling 60. I'm sorry. I'm XLJ, the OG, this week, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother. Oh, God, this hurts so bad. Mr. B-Roll. How you doing, B-Roll? Oh,
I am okay. I think the better question is, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. Tremendous pain. I'm amazed, that I'm able to be as mobile as. Oh God! Oh fuck! That hurt. I'm sorry. Amazed.
Oh.
Come on, God.
Well,
I need a moment to talk.
Are you gonna be okay to make it, through the show? Like,
I'm going to. I think I'll be okay because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it remotely. From the temporary Colecast studio. So, just at the mothership, if you will, just because if Tony Khan can do it, I can do it too. Damn it! So,
okay.
Well, Mr. B-Roll, I think I'll be okay though. But thank you though. Thank you for your concerns. Thank you for everybody's kind thoughts and cards they've sent me. But I'm next strong. I'm doing okay.
Next strong. I mean, I have so many questions, but as we know here,
that's another story for another time. But anyways,
yeah. I mean, as we know,
what happened this week though?
Yeah, we're always crunched for time. So, without further ado, I say the clock starts now.
All right. And our top story this week, yes, is the Elite attacked Tony Khan. I'm sorry, but yeah, this thing. Oh, it's a miracle. I'm okay. Woo!
Oh my gosh!
It's okay. It's a miracle. Just seeing Tony Khan walk away inspired me to take. Oh, yeah, I'm next strong, baby. Anyways, our top story this week, Tony Khan attacked by the Elite. Let's talk about it. What are your thoughts, first and foremost?
I mean, can't say I didn't think he'd ever be involved to this extent in a storyline, but I like it. I can dig it. Smart timing with the NFL draft and everything.
Oh yeah, them being in Jacksonville. There's a lot of this is it felt right. And there's some stuff, the aftermath mainly, which we're gonna get into that too. Trust us, folks. But I felt like, we talked about it here on the show a couple weeks ago. We were really disappointed with them airing the footage and just but just kind of, it just didn't, it was just kind of felt meh, not like the right move. But now going forward, and now we have this storyline presented to us, I feel like, I'll be the first to admit, I now seeing where they're going with this, I think everything has been great and right in place. I think this was definitely a step in the right direction, whether this was the plan all along or not. I enjoy it because I think this is the beginning of a new era in AEW. I think that's what Dynamite was all about this week, and we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But I think considering it's that age-old adage of turning chicken shit into chicken salad, and I think that's what they're doing here. I'm curious to see where we're going with this Elite storyline. Of course, now it looks like Jack Perry, a member of the Elite. which I think that shoots Jack Perry right back up in a trajectory where he needs to be going. Definitely wasn't doing this as Jungle Boy, that's for damn sure. So capitalizing on that, the real life heat there with the whole scuffle at All In London. But yeah, I feel like this is a step in the right direction, and I know there's a lot of people out there who talk about the negative, and once again, we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a moment. But all in all, I feel satisfied with this, and I'm curious to see where we're going. Put it to you this way: it accomplished the number one thing, which is I want to see what the hell is going to happen Wednesday on Dynamite.
Yep.
And like you said, it put a lot of eyes on AEW too. And and you mentioned the timing of it with the draft, also the significance of this moment happening at Daily's Place, which is pretty much the home of AEW. This is where AEW was formed. This is where they had the first press conference, So there's a lot of little sprinkled in, little hit nuances there, or the little things. You like the details, and I think it's pretty cool. I'm up for it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was gonna happen anywhere, that's where it needed to happen. And I'll say one last thing: I absolutely love that little stupid smirk that Jack Perry gives. It makes me want to slap him.
When he was that was great. That was great. But as we mentioned, man, a lot of eyes on AEW, especially the timing of this with the NFL draft. Like Tony Khan selling it, brother. Kudos. You did better than I did because I only lasted a couple minutes in that damn thing. But selling it, like being in the war room there, doing some interviews and stuff. So, and NFL Network and other outlets acknowledging it, And there was some people who poked some fun at it, but still, at the end of the day, it got people talking. But that being said, it's like, once again, here we are. We take a step forward, right? And now we take 2 steps back with this shit. So, an interview on the NFL Network, and Tony Khan pretty much just, once again, he's digging the hole deeper. Comparing the WWE to the Harvey Weinstein. Like, first of all, the comparison makes no fucking sense. How the hell do we get Pepsi and Harvey Weinstein in the same sentence? I don't understand that shit. Pepsi and Coke, I get. But like, there's no correlation between the two. It's like he just wanted to throw that in there. Didn't necessarily, regardless of like how WWE has been in the past, because we know there's the issues there, especially with Vince and shit. And some things. I mean, we've talked about this on the show weekly. WWE's firing on all cylinders. They're killing it right now. The product is at the all-time greatest it's been, and the morale there is a lot better too. So it's like it's not like it was when a certain someone was there. But also I get Tony Khan taking shots and stuff because I mean WWE, they've taken some shots at him, although not nearly as low blow as this. I mean, this is just. Here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing with this for me, B-roll. We talk about this a lot. The IWC, the tribalism. Tribalism is the all-time worst. I mean, not only in wrestling, but in society in general, man, if you think about it, because and I ain't going to go on a political rant here, but it used to be back in the day, you have Republicans and Democrats could argue with each other, but then they go have a beer with each other, afterwards and agree to disagree, right? Same could be said for pro wrestling fans, but now, no, it's just like either you're AEW or you're WWE. It's just like, and when you do shit like this, it just adds fuel to the fire. This shit's got to stop, man. I'm tired of seeing it. And, the other day I had my own dad was asking me about like, oh, yeah, you're an AEW guy. I was like, well, I like AEW, but I like WWE as well. I said, I'm a pro wrestling guy. That's what I am. I love professional wrestling. I don't care what the company is. I enjoy watching it, and wrestling is at an all-time high right now. But once again, we're going back to the tribalism bullshit because of shit like this. Just fucking cut it out. Focus on you. You do you. Stay in your own lane. And let's just put out a phenomenal product, which AEW is starting to do once again, I think. I don't know. What do you make about this whole, the Tony Khan comments?
maybe he was high on painkillers. I don't know.
I would love
but-
it if they turned that into a story, but
I mean, I
They're
agree
not
with
going
you,
to.
sir. I feel like I came to a TED talk, but I completely agree with you. And like you have said before, you know, I think the best thing we can do is lead by example. We love pro wrestling. Period.
That's right, and that's what we do here on PW60. We talk pro wrestling. But old Papa Khan, man, as much as you love him, I hate him. I mean, he needs some help. I think he needs to listen to some advice. He needs advice from perhaps a fatherly figure. I think you know where I'm going with this. Let's go to Dad Hat with Dad Hat's advice of the week.
Of the week, brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids. This week's advice is going to be a little harsh, but you need to know it. No matter how old you get, no matter where you go, what you do, you will always be my responsibility. Right? So just remember, don't embarrass me. Don't make me look bad.
Tony Khan becomes the first ever NFL executive in a draft room, shaking off the effects of a pile driver he received on national television in a wrestling ring the night before.
And 3, you better not waste my money.
We're up against a really evil juggernaut. WWE is our competitor. That's who we're facing. AEW, like the Pepsi of pro wrestling. WWE's like the Harvey Weinstein of pro wrestling.
Oh, Dad, he is wise beyond his years, my friend. But you know, he brings up a good point. You know, or we talked about this. Like, just Tony needs to listen to as many people as possible. Especially, he needs to listen to his PR team too. Which I don't know if you know this, but here at PW60, one of our very own correspondents is actually a part of that PR team. That being said, let's go to the best scout machine.
A huge misconception here at AEW is that you don't have a PR team. I'm the PR team of AEW, and I'm here to go over some things with Tony Khan. Okay, so that interview was great. It's great that you plugged AEW every Wednesday on TBS. Now, the whole Harvey Weinstein part, like, I know you wanted to say some other stuff, like you were going to call WWE Hitler, you're going to make a poop joke. At one point, you're going to pull a doll out and tell them where Triple H touched you. Like, I totally, let the whole CM Punk video slide because I'm like, hey, it's part of the story. Me and you were involved in that, writing that story. Also, wait, guys, we're not doing a Tony Storm skit this week. Just back to color. So, speaking as the head of PR, I just wanted to say, Tony, don't do it again. By the way, neck brace looks great. I know you're impersonating your favorite AEW employee. Me. Okay, that's it. There's nothing else. Are we forgetting something? Oh my God, sorry. Shania Twain! That don't impress me much. You're one of those guys who like to shine machine. Good night, everybody. Happy roll, Axel J. And copyright infringement can't say.
Oh, best scout, we love you, pal. But yeah,
I don't know how he does it. He wears so many hats. Like, I don't know how he does
I know, right? He's such a talented individual. So, well, other big story this week coming out in the world of wrestling is, hey, speaking of drafts, it was the WWE draft kicked off this past Friday night on SmackDown. And yeah, it was weak. It was, as MJF would say, mid. Because once again, just like last year, they didn't move shit around. I mean, I do like I will say this, some steps in the right direction. I like how they've changed up the rules. That's cool. But I mean, pretty much everybody stayed on the same roster. There was a couple of moves. I don't know. What do you think of the draft?
Meh.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah. Now,
it's
supposedly,
definitely different this year because the champions were locked in. So
yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah.
different.
But I just I don't know, man. There was some moves. There was a big move, I will say. And that's number one. This was what I loved about night one with SmackDown. And Reggie's marking out over this. Carmelo Hayes. They made Carmelo Hayes look like a fucking star, and rightfully so. So here you see it. It was pretty much 4 rounds, 2 picks each round for SmackDown and Raw. What did you think of the first? Okay, so this is just me nitpicking here, but out of everybody that was available, if you don't take Seth freaking Rollins as your first pick, you're fucking nuts. And he wasn't even the first pick for Raw, for God's sakes. I mean, that is no disrespect to Bianca or Jay or Carmelo, but that was a head scratcher for me. If they explained it on TV and maybe I missed this, well, Seth's out with injury, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's the excuse for it, but I didn't understand that at all. Neither did Reggie. It made no damn sense whatsoever. But Bianca, the first overall pick, I mean, congratulations to Bianca. I love Bianca, but I don't know. I didn't really quite understand that. Jay going as the first for Raw. Okay. I mean, I like Jay, but like, once again, I guess I'm nitpicking here. I don't understand why Seth wasn't the first pick. I don't know. What'd you think of the first round of the draft?
I think it was cool they made Bianca the first pick. To make it like a big deal.
I mean, I think it was cool and all, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably being a fickle wrestling fan here and picking it apart, but I don't know. To me, it was just weird.
Probably the biggest move. I mean, Braun Breaker basically getting switched over to Raw. That's a big move.
Yep. So you see round 2 here. We got Randy Orton and staying on SmackDown. Braun Breaker moving to Raw. Nia Jax has moved to SmackDown now, and Liv Morgan staying on Raw. In the third round, you had LA Knight staying on SmackDown. Ricochet staying on Raw. The Bloodline staying on SmackDown. Sheamus staying on Raw. Are you noticing this is getting a little repetitive here? AJ Styles staying on SmackDown. Alpha Academy staying on Raw. Andrade moving over to SmackDown. And a big surprise of the night, I would say, was Kiana James getting called up from NXT to the Raw roster. But I don't know. Like I say,
surprised, but
no,
I thought she'd get called up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think overall, I will say, like, I like even though it wasn't many moves, I like the moves that they did do. And it makes sense for Andrade to be on SmackDown. Keanu helped that division out on Monday Night Raw. I obviously you keep the Bloodline on SmackDown.
I mean, I can tell you,
SmackDown
I
seems like
personally
the
wouldn't
premier.
waste a second round pick on. Yeah, I wouldn't waste a second round pick on Nia Jax, but that's just me.
Yeah. But I don't know. But supposedly they say on tonight's draft pool that's supposed to really mix things up. One more thing I'll say about the draft, and I'll get off my high horse, if you will. Is I thought NXT was supposed to be getting like some draft picks or something. Like, what the fuck? Like once again, they're doing like they did last year, and they're just gonna gut their roster. Like, I can guarantee you tonight, Ilya Dragunov's getting picked up by Raw or somebody. You could damn sure bet he's getting called up. And I would look for a couple more surprises probably in there getting called up from the Raw NXT roster. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we get some shakeups, but we're going to find out. But let's go back to Friday Night SmackDown because, man, oh, man, what a way. Like I say, this was Carmelo Hayes' night for sure. Getting called up to the main roster and already calling his shot right out of the gate. had an incredible matchup with Cody Rhodes too, man. There were some close falls here, but we talk about time in and time again in pro wrestling. You talk about going over and getting over. That's exactly what happened here. I mean, the way they position Carmelo Hayes, I think they put him on there as to be like a top star on Friday nights. What did you think about Carmelo Hayes' debut on SmackDown?
Yeah, I mean, I love to see it. Like, when he shoots, he don't miss. He did miss. He did lose, but, I mean,
But still,
great debut.
It was a gallant effort. I mean, nobody's going to beat Cody. I mean, come on. Come on, man. But nonetheless, incredible showing for Carmelo Hayes. But SmackDown had some other pretty cool moments on it too. Like, how about Carlito turning on the LWO? Oh, shocker. As it was Carlito was the one that attacked Dragon Lee.
That's not cool.
I see what you did there. Also, we got to see Braun Breaker destroy Cedric Alexander. That freaking that moonsault into the spears, like damn. And I'm excited to see what Braun's going to do on Raw too. I think that's a better fit for him, honestly, than being on SmackDown. I think he could shine more there. But that's that remains to be seen what's going to happen. I mean, he's going to kill it anywhere he goes, honestly. Also, we got Tiffany Stratton against Naomi, and this ended up being kind of a cluster as Nia Jax inserted herself, which we do now know is leading to a match at Backlash, which we'll talk about here in just a couple of moments. And how about that brawl with the Bloodline and Kevin Owens, man? And then Randy Orton inserting himself into it. Overall, man, a SmackDown was a badass show, including with the draft. So, and I'm excited to see what happens tonight on Monday Night Raw with the draft. Well, it was a big show this week for NXT as it was spring breaking, man. And this was honestly a lot of great shows this week in wrestling, but I think this was probably my favorite this week was spring breaking. Did you get a chance to watch spring breaking?
Oh yeah, it was great. I loved the three-way. I loved the match with Sol Ruca and Blair Davenport.
Oh my god, I love that match.
I think the wrong person won, but
Oh, with Sol Ruca and Blair Davenport, really?
Well, I'm just a Blair Davenport.
So you don't think
fan,
I love Blair Davenport, but I don't know. I think it was important for Sol Ruca. I love her. Like, dude, she is phenomenal, man. The stuff she does in the ring, it's like, holy crap. And how about Lexis King picking up a huge win over Baron Corbin, man? Like, that was huge. And then, of course, you had the D'Angelo family going over on the catch, or what, I always forget their name. What, Catch 22 or something, right? Or no Quarter Catch Crew. There. I know.
Yeah,
no Quarter Catch Crew. I know.
Something
Shanahan,
like
I'm sorry, I messed up your European groups faction. But anyways, so those guys went over. But let's talk about the story of the night by far. Whoop that Trick Williams against Ilya Dragunov. It was all on the line for Trick Williams. If he lost, he was done with NXT. But guess what, my friend? Trick Williams defeated the Moscow Brawler himself, and he is now your new NXT champion, Trick Williams, who is like by far the face of NXT. He's red hot. I got to see it, 16,000 people, whatever, there at Wells Fargo going crazy for him. The chants were breaking out even before Stand and Deliver, man. Right move. What'd you think of Trick Williams winning the NXT championship?
I like it. What?
You like it? You like it a lot, indeed. But man, huge moment for him. I mean, he totally deserves it. I mean, he's been killing it on NXT, and now it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. And of course, Trick Williams is our Wrestler of the Week this week here on PW60. Huge moment for him, man. And people are talking about it in the pro wrestling world, man. What a huge 7 days. Where you got to see not one, not two, but 3 African-American wrestlers all win major championships with Willow Nightingale, and winning the TBS title, and of course Swerve Strickland winning the AEW title. Now you have Trick Williams winning the NXT championship. Pretty cool week in the world of pro wrestling this past week. And here's another pretty cool moment too. Becky Lynch won the Fake It Women's World Championship on Monday Night Raw, as she won a battle royal to win that championship. I love this shot right here. It's so dope, man. I loved her celebration there when she went into the crowd at the end. And we've been talking about this too. The production values with WWE has been great, but I love like how they did her entrance in like one shot, and then just like the stuff they did back, just with her celebration and stuff. I've been a huge fan of that, and I know we've talked about that before. But what do you think of Becky going over and winning the women's world title? I know there's a lot of people upset about this. I'm not. I think it was the right move. I think a lot of people expecting Liv Morgan to go over, but it adds more to her story. I think more to the chase, because if she gets the belt, it's not. I think this was a good move, and kudos to Becky too, because she cut her vacation short to come back and help out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly what you want. It just has to make sense, and this is something that makes sense. It makes sense for Liv. It adds to her story. Yeah, I mean, you were dealing with an unprecedented situation where you had an injury that you didn't know was going to happen. You can't predict this crap. So
no,
you got to make do with what you got.
Yeah, I think it's like a great move in the right direction. And man, I still, every time I see this gear, I think she's wearing something like with the Budweiser logo on it. I'm sorry. It just throws me off. But congratulations to Becky Lynch on winning yet another world championship. I mean, she's the man. What more can you say? It's the man. Let's talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw this past week. First and foremost, that Jey Uso, Damian Priest opening segment, man. Jey Uso's a gem, man. I love Jey Uso. Well, everybody loves Jey Uso. How could you not love Jey Uso, man? Awesome Truth did retain their tag team championships against DIY. Looks like DIY too. Tommaso Ciampa a little disheartened by that. So hopefully Triple H can recover from that, and his partner Shawn Michaels in DX. That is right, not DIY, right?
That's right.
They can get that figured out and settled, because they're a great tag team. But man, speaking of tag teams though, and dissolution, holy crap. Imperium looks like they're donezo. Man, oh man, like what do you think of that? Because that I was like, we kind of thought this was going to happen for a long time, but like just the way this went down was just like, damn.
Yeah, he just kind of went off on him.
Yeah, it was I was, like I say, I wasn't shocked by it, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad of a beatdown. But nonetheless,
my personal prediction, I think Ilya Dragunov joins Imperium.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I don't know what's the benefit if he does that, though. That's the way I look at it. But crazier things have happened. So. And Damian Priest laying down the law, man. What do you think of like that, with Damian Priest kind of just saying like, you guys, I don't need you guys. You guys need me in Judgment Day. It's like, whoa, easy there, big fella. It's like planting the seeds, man. It's planting the seeds. I love Judgment Day, but with Mommy not being there, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then how about Sheamus and Drew, and then just Drew being Drew, man. It's like, you haven't been doing banger after banger. I think it's more been burger after burger. Oh man, and I love the way like Sheamus played off of it too, and of course ended up going up against Shinsuke Nakamura. So all in all, dude, Monday Night Raw was a solid showing, and we're only a week away now from Backlash. And we've got an update on the Backlash card. Of course, we got Cody Rhodes defending that undisputed WWE Championship against AJ Styles in a first time ever meeting. Of course, that's this Saturday, May 4th. And I love that start time, baby. 1 p.m. 1 p.m. It's great. It's so good. The old person in me loves that. But also, we found out this week, we do know Jey Uso is going to challenge for Damian Priest's World Heavyweight Championship. The WWE Women's Championship match has now changed as Bayley will defend in a triple threat against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. It's going to be Tiffy time in France. We're going to find out. Also, the women's tag titles are on the line as the Kabuki Warriors defend against the super team of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And how about this? We got the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa going up against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And I'm sure we may get a match or two announced later this week. But Backlash is looking like a pretty solid card from France. Is there any particular match you're looking forward to, Mr. B-Roll?
I think we'll have new women's tag champs, and I think maybe we get the debut of Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, I could see that happening. So, you never know, my friend. Well, it's come that time in the show. Let's go to our good friend Sienna. She's got advice for us professional wrestling fans.
You know, the IWC can be kind of like a very interesting community. And when it comes to the IWC, it's the internet wrestling community itself. And plus wrestling fan as well. Like, there's two quotes that is like pretty much what everybody else is saying regarding like what's going on within the current state of wrestling. Nobody hates pro wrestling more than pro wrestling fans. And pro wrestling fans, well, wrestling fan in general, are never happy, all because of like they don't like the finish of the matches or crowning champions or this and that. Now, I asked the question on the other side, but I wanted to ask y'all a question, but I'll give y'all my response. As a wrestling fan, what makes you truly happy? For me, it's seeing the wrestling fan, casual, new, or old, at a live event, really having a great time, having fun, and following along like with the matches, the story, and the outcome at the end of the event, that they're really happy and very satisfied of the show they've gone to. So that is one of my true happiness, and especially introducing my friends to wrestling promotion, wrestlers, or anything. So comment down below, as a wrestling fan, what makes you truly happy?
Well, thank you so much, Sienna. We appreciate West Wrestling fans. Trust us, we need all the advice we can get. Well, hey, let's go back and talk about AEW Dynamite this past week, coming out of Jacksonville at Daly's Place, the home of AEW, essentially. There was some good and there was some bad.
Wait, what'd you say? Hey, what'd you say? I can't hear you.
Yeah, that's definitely the bad, man. My God, the sound stuff. Jeez Louise, get your shit together, man. Like, it's one thing if it does it during a segment or two, but it was the whole fucking show. Like, how could they not get that figured out, for crying out loud? Anyways, I digress. It is what it is. A lot of people kind of upset over Swerve Strickland because he didn't get a celebration. But he comes out and had an incredible match with Kyle Fletcher. But what did you think of how they handled Swerve? Do you think did they do it right? Was it wrong? What were your thoughts on Swerve Strickland?
You know what? If he would have came out and did the celebration, they probably would have complained about that too. So I thought it was a great match.
I agree. I thought it was a great match. I mean, I feel like that's kind of his thing, is he just is a phenomenal in-ring competitor and has phenomenal matches.
I mean,
and has a great personality too. And he's a leader.
I don't. A lot of people have pointed out that, because on Collision he had like an in-ring promo, and it's like, they had the NBA playoffs right before then, like a lot of eyes. I don't know, but let's talk about what you really want to talk about. I know there's one particular match that you really want to talk about from this show. Your girl.
You talking about my girl? My girl, Mina. Hey. Mina Shirakawa making her Dynamite in-ring debut going up against Anna Jay. Anna! I love seeing Mina. You know that for obvious reasons. She's an incredible talent. She definitely. I was having a discussion, I think, with Jay, from our good friend CDC about Mina Shirakawa, and just I feel like she's kind of like the equivalent of what like Shinsuke Nakamura was in New Japan before he came to WWE in North America. I just think she's just one of those talents that's going to translate so easily into the North American audience. So whenever that happens, I'm looking forward to it. I'm here for it. But how about Anna Jay? Give kudos to her, man. She appeared. I think they said, what was it? She appeared on Dynamite, Ring of Honor, Rampage, or Collision all this week, pretty much, which is like nobody's ever done before in AEW. So
I think that was.
They're counting last week into this week, though. I think, aren't they? Yeah, because she was on Collision, remember, against Tony Storm. But nonetheless, point being, big week for Anna Jay.
Rampage, though.
She was on Collision.
Yeah,
and Collision and Rampage were at the same time. So
the week before, she had done all of them.
Okay,
I'm
so she's done Rampage.
I'm being fickle here, but
Rampage, Dynamite, Ring of Honor, Collision. There, still, it's pretty damn impressive, nonetheless. So kudos to her, and she's just getting better and better, man. I'll tell you one thing too. I think people like pointed this out. The best friend stuff at the beginning sucked. And that should be more interesting. It just sucked. Didn't care for it.
It wasn't in the right spot. Like it wasn't in the right.
No,
spot.
it's a terrible spot. A terrible spot. But you ready for a hot take from me? Here's a hot take. Maybe I'm nitpicking here. I need to be patient, but I'm tired of being patient. I think the stuff Mercedes Moné has done since day one in AEW has sucked. It's been the drizzling shit. And it's made me not even like Mercedes anymore. Like, I kind of was like, I was okay with her. She was my least favorite out of the horsewomen, but now it's just like, I don't fucking care. And the fact that she's going to take the title off Willow Nightingale, it just pisses me off because she just won it. But I said what I said. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You can have your own opinion, but the stuff and I consider myself an AEW diehard here. You can call me a flag bearer or whatever, but I'll be the first to admit the Mercedes Moné run. And I get it, she's coming off injury and stuff, but still, even the promos and the stuff, it just feels, I don't feel invested in it, B-roll. I don't fucking care. Other than like, I'm pissed because she's going to beat Willow. There, I got that off my chest. I feel better. Also, Moxley in action defending that IWGP Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs in a fun matchup. And we're going to talk about Hobbs here in a little bit because, unfortunately, it does look like he did sustain an injury from that matchup. But overall, solid Dynamite, I think.
Yeah.
And we got an update for Double.
Yeah. We talked about the ending earlier.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we talked about the ending. We did forget to mention the gauntlet match with the Casino Gauntlet, whatever the fuck they're calling it, which was kind of weird, but it was still a cool match. But Will Ospreay going over, winning the gauntlet, and now he gets a shot against the international champion Roderick Strong. I don't know about this one. I don't know. I think it's going to be, you could Ospreay in anything. It's going to be great. I just don't know if putting that international title on him makes a whole lot of sense. Who knows? Roderick Strong may go over on him. I don't know, but I don't know.
There's got to be more to this story. Like, I guess with this one, I'm just trusting the process.
Yeah. I guess let him cook, right? Let him cook. It'll be a great matchup nonetheless. And of course, Willow will be dropping that championship to Mercedes Moné on May 26th.
No, she won't.
I hope not, but I mean, come on. Like, you paid Mercedes all this money, and trust me, folks, if a month from now I'm eating crow, I'm going to be happy as a pig in shit, okay? Because I do not want to see Willow lose, but I feel like it's inevitable. So I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I really hope I'm wrong, but time will tell. But yeah, Double or Nothing's coming up here. It'll be here before you know it. Memorial Day weekend on May the 26th. Let's talk about AEW Collision from this Saturday night. Solid show, as always. First and foremost, how excited were you when they announced that the Grizzled Young Veterans would be making their AEW debut going up against the Acclaimed? So happy to see them on AEW.
I was pretty stoked, and I don't know. I love that it was against the
I would have,
Acclaimed.
as much as I love the Acclaimed, I would have preferred them to win, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, we got
Ray
to see the
Phoenix
return
is back.
of Ray Phoenix is back. Had an incredible match against what are we calling him now? Beast Mortos or whatever. Also, Roosh is back as well. Yeah. Roosh is back as well. So we got a couple guys back from injury, which was great. You kicked it off with the Bang Bang Gang going up against Top Flight and Action Andretti. Of course, Tony Storm was in action against Anna Jay. But let's talk about that opening moment and the main event. Swerve Strickland against Claudio Castagnoli. Oh my gosh. It ended up being for the title. And man, oh man, what an incredible first title defense for Swerve. As a matter of fact, it is actually our match of the week here on PW60. But Claudio and Swerve, dude, they were cooking, man. What'd you think of that matchup?
Oh, it was
sexy.
I can't even put into words. I mean, It was a banger. It was.
I love the match he had with Joe. I love the match that Swerve had against Kyle Fletcher. But to me, dude, this was like the best match out of those three if we're comparing them. Like, I was just like, holy shit, what a first title defense for him.
Yeah, I mean, Claudio really just is superhuman. Like, he's really not human. Yeah. He's got to be like part cyborg or something. I'm pretty sure.
He really does. Yeah.
Or really an alien. Does. I don't know.
Who knows? He's awesome. But shout out to our good friend CDC. But what is this? What is this? Anyways, if you know, you know. Rampage followed Collision, and of course, because the NBA playoffs going on right now. And man, dude, Rampage has been pretty solid these past couple weeks, man. Started off with that parking lot brawl with Trent against Chuck Taylor. Deanna and Thunder Rosa, how did you feel? Are you okay?
Well,
because I know you love them both.
I'm okay. I love them both. Man, honestly, this was up there for match of the week for me too. This has got to be one of the best women's matches in AEW in a while.
Oh yeah. If it wasn't for the Swerve match, it would have been match of the week, I think.
They gave it time, and personally, I think Deanna's best when she's a heel. So that
100.
That's great. So it's a win. It's a win.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not done.
Win.
They're not done fighting each other. So
this has only just begun, I think. So I can't wait to see where it goes from here. And also, we forgot to mention this on Dynamite. Chris Jericho has done it yet again and recreated himself once more. Now we have the learning tree, and Big Bill's a part of it.
Wants to be a part of it.
I don't know. Oh, he's going to be a part of it. I hate to say this, but I'm kind of intrigued by this. I want to see where it goes. Another coat of paint on Jericho. Like that he's coming out to a new song, which is Spotlight from Fozzy, which is a great song. So it kind of fits that learning tree character. And I think he's going to you can notice he's just playing off of it. He knows people are tired of him. He's like, fuck you. I don't care. I'm Chris Jericho. I'm the GOAT. Yeah. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I don't know. I think it's I think it works. And it's going to be an exciting this week on Dynamite.
Like, it's cringe and it's supposed to be.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head, dude. It's cringe, but it's supposed to be. So But it's going to be an exciting week because they're coming from Jericho's hometown, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, this week on Dynamite. And he's going to defend that FTW for the world. Yikes. Championship against one Katsuyori Shibata, but he's not the only hometown boy. How about this? Kenny Omega is set to return to AEW Dynamite this week. I am like, what is this going to be? Because obviously he was kicked or fired from the Elite. The stuff that happened with Tony Khan, like, what do you think? What can we expect from Kenny Omega on Dynamite this week?
I mean, lots of questions. Is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Like, what are we getting?
Yep. Yep.
Gosh darn it, I hope he's not retiring.
Don't even talk that into this world, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some speculation, or there's people fantasy booking and stuff like he's not coming alone.
Yeah,
like he's not coming alone. Like maybe Hangman, maybe Golden Lovers, Kota Ibushi. Maybe they're gonna go up against the Elite. I don't know. Who knows?
A lot of rumors, a lot of speculation of what this could be. Big stuff going on this week in the world of wrestling, and we can't forget to talk about this. Stardom's biggest show of the year, All-Star Grand Queendom 2024, took place this past weekend, and this was a solid show, man. Loaded with a lot of talent, a lot of unique stories being told on this card. You had some incredible matches here. Pretty much all the titles were on the line. As you had this kicked off with a big 6-woman tag match with God's Eye going up against Empress Nexus Venus. I know Light Skin would be so proud of me. I got that right. The high speed title was on the line in a fatal 4-way. As Saya Kamatani would win the championship. So we got a new high speed champion. Of course, my girl Mina Shirakawa was in action against Natsuki Tora. Also, how about this? The Stardom debut of Aja Kong as she was in a tag team matchup, which that's pretty awesome, I think. Man, how about this one? A huge 4-way matchup for the Goddess of Stardom championships, which, if you don't know, those are the tag team championship. As you had the champions Crazy Star, which is Suzy Suzuki and Mia Sarah, which I probably butchered that, as they retain their championships in an incredible 4-way. The IWGP Women's Championship was on the line, too, as Mayo Iwatani retained against Saraya in an incredible matchup. And the Wonder of Stardom title was on the line as Sari Anoa'i would defeat your Cinderella tournament winner, Hanan. But the main event is what everybody's talking about, man. This World of Stardom 3 titles, 3 stages of hell matchup. As champion Makai would go up against Momo Watanabe, which this has been like built up forever too, man. But we've got Maki, I'm sorry, I know I butchered this, retaining her championship. And also, too, got to mention this, too, Starlight Kid getting turned on by her fellow stablemates, man. If you haven't checked out All-Star Grand Queendom, do yourself a favor and go check it out. It's over on Stardom's site, which I think you can access them on YouTube. So, but incredible weekend for them. And also big weekend, too, for AAA is Triple Mania 32 took place this weekend. The first of 3 nights. Which took place in Monterey. And in the big news, the big story of the night, Nick Nemeth is now your AAA Mega Champion as he defeated that scum-sucking, low-life, gutter piece of fucking shit, Alberto El Go Fuck Yourself. There, I said it. That's how I really feel. Tell me how I really feel about that motherfucker. Anyways, congratulations to him on winning the championship and beating that fucking piece of shit, Alberto Del Go Fuck himself. So kudos to you. And hey, man, he's killing it.
Yeah. I'll just say this: it makes me excited. Like Nemeth versus Vikino down the line, sign me up for that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I mean he's also he's starting to become a belt collector himself because he is the of course the IWGP Global Champion. He is your Squared Circle Champion, which we got to witness that in person, and now he's the AAA Mega Champion. So awesome, man. He's like doing everything we thought he would do, like, and then some here on the Independence. So, but congratulations to him on picking up the win. Hey, we got some signings this week, but the biggest one this week by far is Drew McIntyre is officially re-signed with the WWE. No real shocker here, I don't think. If anything, I'm shocked it took as long, I guess. And how about, like, I don't know what was promised, but apparently The Rock said he was going to give him a sword or some shit. And like, because that popped up on like socials that some guy at a restaurant presenting Drew McIntyre with the sword from The Rock. So that's cool. But yeah, I'm not shocked to see Drew resign. What did you think about this?
Yeah,
and it's a huge get too, by the way. I mean, Drew's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing some of his best work right now. Like the DM Hunk stuff has been awesome. I mean, shoot, a year ago at this time, we were like, Drew needs to go away for a little bit. Like, but
and now look at it, man. He's firing on all cylinders, man. Also this week we found out it looks like Finn Balor is going to be re-signing with the WWE. And it looks like it's going to be a long-term contract. He's going to be signed. He's probably going to finish out his career with the WWE, which I think that's great, man. I mean, he deserves that. He's killing it. Like a huge part of Judgment Day. I love Finn Balor, man. I mean, what more? I can't say a bad thing about Finn Balor. Can anybody say a bad thing about Finn Balor? Seriously. I mean, look at those abs.
He's an ageless wonder.
No kidding, right? I mean, it's just crazy. Like you wouldn't expect that. Like what he's in his 40s, I believe. So, but great news to hear there. But there is some sad news coming out of the WWE, as Cameron Grimes was let go this past week as part of some of the releases. But his may be the saddest, just because of the video he put out, as he was just in tears talking about it. But he was very grateful, very respectful. The former Trevor Lee, which I'm sure that's the moniker he'll be going back to. I can't wait to see what he's going to do next. Like, I look for him to return probably to TNA, or he's going to kill it wherever he goes, man. And there's going to be people like banging on his door to get him to come compete for them. And we here at PW60, we're excited to see what the future holds for one Trevor Lee. Man, oh man, with all these signings though, man, we got a lot of the injury bug hitting this week too, as we found out Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom, is going to be out for a significant period of time. I'm so sad by this, man. Like Judgment Day, man, just losing the two of their biggest draws, like Damian Priest. But you know what? We were talking about this, and I think this gives Damian Priest like a tremendous opportunity to like truly shine as the Judgment Day, because I think, you know, that's what everybody thinks about with the Judgment Day. They go to Rhea and they go to Dirty Dom. So, but we wish Dominic a speedy recovery. Can't wait to see him get back in the ring. Also, we found out Jimmy Uso apparently is suffering from an injury right now as well. Obviously, kind of written off from television there. Matter of fact, I think he's been written out like from the draft too. So it's probably gonna be a little bit of time before we see him, but that's okay. I can let like the story percolate, and when he comes back, it'll be bigger and better than ever, and add to that bloodline storyline. And we mentioned it earlier here, when Powerhouse Hobbs was injured on Dynamite this past week. We don't know how long he's going to be out for, but it does look like he's going to be out for a little bit of time. So we wish all of these wrestlers their best, and we hope we get to see them back in the ring very soon. And speaking of injured wrestlers, this is a crazy story. Darby Allin was hit by a bus in New York. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, this, he's like a cat with 9 lives. Like, you can't kill Darby Allin. Like, I mean, my God, like, look at this. He was supposed to climb Mount Everest. He breaks his freaking ankle. He gets hit by a bus. It's nothing. It's a Tuesday for her. Like, what'd you make of this story? Because we just found about this. It's like, what the hell?
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to think.
I mean, what can
he's
you
in
say?
A walking boot.
What can you say?
I know he's in a walking boot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
How do you get hit by a bus too? How'd the bus not? I don't know. A lot of questions here, but Darby Allin's okay. He doesn't look okay, but he's okay. God, what a tough son of a bitch. Like this kid, like if he's still walking by the time he's 30, I'm gonna be happy. But damn, Darby, like slow it down a bit. Just chill, man. But glad that he apparently is okay. So this is exciting. We need to blow this up, everybody, because the Joe Hendry's theme song was released as a single across like all major streaming musical platforms, and he has got a campaign trying to make it a top pop song like on Apple and iTunes and all that other stuff. Because I believe in Joe Hendry. I don't know about you, but do you believe in Joe Hendry?
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry. There you go. But seriously, if you haven't done so, go download this, go buy it, go whatever. Let's make this go viral, damn it, because if any man deserves it, it is one Joe Hendry. This is interesting. Chris Jericho, did you know he made a movie? So the movie's called Dark Match, and it's like a horror movie involving professional wrestling. It actually showed at the Cannes Film Festival this past week. Now, if you don't know, the Cannes Film Festival is a very popular film festival that takes place overseas, and essentially a lot of independent movies and stuff are shown there, so other companies can kind of come in. They're shown to them, and they can kind of come in and buy those movies and distribute those movies. So hopefully Chris Jericho can sell this thing. I would be very intrigued to see this. And speaking of movies with wrestlers and intrigued to see, what the fuck is this? The Unbreakable Bunch released this week? I don't know what the fuck this is about, but I want to see it because it's got freaking Haku, Glacier, Larry Sabisco, Ernest the Cat Miller is like dressed as a freaking country guy. What the fuck is this? I gotta see this. B-roll? Could this be our next movie we watch on Friday night movie night?
I don't know. It could be.
I don't know, man. I want to see it. And hey, speaking of the film world, how about this? Cody Rhodes, it was announced this week, he will be appearing in the Naked Gun reboot, starring alongside Liam Neeson. Man, this is, you talk about random, man. Just some random stuff with these movies. And hey, speaking of random, it's that time of the show. Let's go to Brian with Brian's random moment of the week.
Everywhere here on YouTube, and going to the Gram That's Instant and the Book of Faces, and also, of course, the Tick That Never Stops Talking and whatever. Yeah, here we go. Close enough. Harry the Fake Snake says hi too. Cool. Here we go. Random moment of the week, and I was watching a clip here on YouTube from a random account, unintended, and I was watching about Enzo Amore and Big Cass and their WWE debut. A couple different videos on that and whatnot, and some of the moments, some of the funny clips and stuff, you know, with Enzo and all this, you know, whatever you call it, special moments, that kind of thing. But I just got to thinking about how WWE in 2016, which was kind of a weird year, some good, some bad, how they had something like lightning in a bottle with that gimmick, and it was over. I mean, the crowd was doing the whole shtick with them. And then not long after that, the booking and things just really went off track. Then within a year or so, they split them up and turned Cass heel. You know, eventually might have happened, but they've been like probably, you know, years down the road, you would think. But to see the rise of them and then the very quick fall, they could have at least won at least one set of tag team titles at some point. Could have been over even in a bigger capacity. So it's one of those what could have been moments. So what could have been? What do you think? What could have been if the booking was right? Maybe it's a what if question. What if they were booked properly? Longer term as a team, how do you think they would have been? Do you think the split would have happened a little sooner, a lot later, never? What do you think? Comment below, let us know, and enjoy the rest of PW6 to the 0.
Oh, we love you, Brian, man. Always bringing it with such incredible questions. And speaking of love, you know who else we love here on PW60? We love our wrestling content creators. And this week, our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week is one It's Just Wrestling Pod. Now, I just recently discovered It's Just Wrestling Pod over on the TikTok, and I got to tell you, like, he got some great thoughts, some great opinions, some great content. Was at WrestleMania XL, and no, I didn't run into him. But still, though, they got some really, really cool stuff. If you're not doing so, you should be following It's Just Wrestling Pod, because he's our Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week. It's Just Wrestling Pod. Also, some exciting news here. One Valhalla announced that she is pregnant with her second child here, which is cool because we just found out last week Ruby Soho's pregnant. So now Ruby and Valhalla, who are great friends, that's going to be cool that they're going to be having a kid around the same time. Now, the real question is Liv Morgan going to drink the Kool-Aid and join them, and we're going to have like a Riot Squad babies? That would really mess up plans for the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour, but nonetheless, congratulations to one Valhalla. And speaking of kids, congratulations to one Mark Briscoe, who had a baby boy. But B-Roll, I see that smile on your face, my friend. How cool was this? That baby boy, we found out his name is Jamin, named after Mark's late great brother, Jay Briscoe. How cool of a moment was that, man? How cool was it to hear this news?
Yeah, I mean it's a great way to honor him. Them boys, top 5, dead or alive.
There you go. Well, congratulations to Mark Briscoe as well on giving on his new baby boy. And this was a very interesting development we found out this past week. It looks like Jesse Ventura may possibly be talking to the WWE. That's something I didn't think I would see anytime soon. But with Vince McMahon being completely out of the WWE, he's in talks that he may be of interest. I think that'd be pretty cool, honestly. I always loved Jesse on commentary back in the day. I mean, he was like the voice of my childhood along with Gorilla Monsoon. So I think it'd be cool if you got him back in some sort of a commentary role. I mean, I don't know if it'd be weekly, but like a guest. I don't know. Or he would be great narrating like any documentary on WWE or on Peacock, for WWE. So he's got a phenomenal voice. So I'm for this, man. I always like Jesse the Body. So I think it'd be cool to see him back in the WWE. Mr. B-Roll, now this was a fascinating thing. It was announced this week that the FTC has banned non-compete agreements, which is very fascinating, especially in the world of pro wrestling, because as we all know, non-competes have been a huge thing. So now technically, if they get let go on Monday, maybe say on a Monday, they could, a WWE wrestler gets let go on a Monday, they could end up in AEW on Wednesday, perhaps. So that is very interesting. Although, if you look a little bit deeper into it, though, with how WWE does things, they still kind of have it built into where it's like still like they're still working for the WWE for like 60 days or 90 days or something like that. So they could just take them off TV, essentially, is what they could do. So I don't know. It remains to be seen how this is going to go. But hey, it's a huge step, man, in the right direction. So I think it's great to see, not only for WWE, but just in like in jobs in general. You and I were talking about this. It's not really fair if like, they say, oh, well, we put all this time in training you or whatever, but like I have this skill set that now I can't use for X amount of time frame. So I don't know. I think it's a great move. And our last story this week here on PW60 is Vince McMahon is completely out from the WWE. Completely. Like, has no more shares in TKO. He is done so. But what's all the more interesting is it looks like Nick Khan is selling all of his shares in TKO as well. What could that mean? I don't know. You tell me, folks. You tell me. What do you make of this story? I know you're happy about Finney Mac. What do you think about
yeah.
what do you think about Nick Khan though?
Yeah, that's the more
Think this is
surprising
leading us up?
one, I think. But
Yeah, me too.
but I don't know. Maybe they just want to make money. I don't know.
I don't know, but happy to see Vince McMahon completely gone out of the WWE. But I don't want to talk this into existence, but I'm not going to be shocked if we don't see Vince McMahon next year involved in some type of wrestling. But although I think you'd be crazy to want to work for that asshole. But anyways, nonetheless, ding dong, the witch is dead. The witch is dead. Well, Mr. B-Roll, somehow we... It was a crazy week, and man, oh man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen this week. And we've got night 2 of the draft getting ready to kick off now on Monday Night Raw. It's going to be exciting to see what happens there. Well, until next week, I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, Mr. B-Roll, and we'll see you on another episode of Pro Wrestling 15. Everybody have a great week. Bye.